Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Cindy here, and we are on day 19. Can you believe it? Day 19. All this time you went through all your steps. And I know you're feeling awesome because you're listening to my lectures. And my lectures are on the 30 Days to Sobriety. Yes, the 30-day sobriety solution here. So sit back and relax. We're going to give you another tool today. We're using the law of attraction to accelerate your success. Yesterday we got into it with the visualizations, and you're learning. Every thought vibrates, every thought radiates a signal, and every thought attracts a matching signal back. We call the process the law of attraction. This has something to do with neuroscience, okay? The law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. And so you might see the powerful law of attraction as a sort of a universal manager that sees to it that all thoughts that match one line up. Okay, this is Esther and Jerry Hicks. The law of attraction is known as the universal law. Like attracts like. The core teachings of the law of attraction are found everywhere. They go way back to ancient texts, religious and spiritual teachings. We are teaching you secrets of the universe. That's right. They go to modern day philosophy, psychology, and self-help books. You know, Dr. Wayne Dyer uses this. Neville Goddard, this comes from Neville Goddard's lectures, whether you intentionally use the law or not. Just like the law of gravity, it is always affecting you. It is critical that you learn how to leverage this incredible power force in a positive way. In today's solution, we'll teach you how to do this. So everybody sit back, take in a breath, and think about these principles and techniques. Covered in solution 11. You get your journal out and you journal while you're listening to me through solutions 11 through 20. That's right, you start at the beginning, chapter 1. You are related to harnessing and directing this powerful force. We taught you visualization. We taught you affirmations, positive thinking. We are training your brain. We're focusing on what you do want rather than what you don't want. We want to focus on the end result. The reason you keep relapsing and using over and over is because you're saying, I don't want to use. And we taught you that the subconscious mind doesn't understand the word don't. So when you say, I don't, all you do is think about it. It's like when they say, don't think about the pink elephant in the room. All you can think about is the pink elephant in the room. So we say, do. Releasing your limiting beliefs. Your wounds, your emotional wounds through tapping. Remember, we taught you how to tap. These are all tools that will raise your level of vibration and activate the force to attract what you want in your life. Today we will dive even deeper into how to make sure you are on the right side of this law as you create your new sober and happy life. We ask with belief and receive. And whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. And this is Matthew. This is my son. I named him Matthew after Matthew in the Bible. And this is Matthew 2:1-2:2. Whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you believe. And I told you yesterday in the lecture that my boyfriend lay in the hospital in critical condition, and guess what? I pictured him healed. I pictured him breathing well. I pictured him eating well. Although they said it's hospice care, he's never going to get well. Guess what? Guess what? When I went there today, he was eating. He has all the tools now to recover. He was eating. He has everything he needs. And I asked and believed and received. These are the steps to working with spirit, your highest part of yourself. This is from Dr. Cindy now, not from the book, but from what I know. That when you ask your spirit, and then you believe when you ask the question, then you step back and you receive it. These are the 3 steps to manifesting what you want using the law of attraction. Ask for what you want. This is the first step. Now people, this is where you're going to go deep. Break open your ribs and go deep into yourself. What do you want? You're the creator. So ask your creator. You're a spark off of the creator. What does your ideal life thriving in sobriety look like? Think of it as if you're fulfilling out a purchase order to the universe. Do you want clean, bright teeth? You can have everything you want. Do you want beautiful eyes that are clear and happy and sparkling with love and imagination? All you do is add it to your online shopping cart. Take the time to design your ideal life, including your inner experiences, like how you want to feel, your attitude. As you're relaxing, you're relieving your beliefs, your physical sensation. Relax, calm. Relax and let the universe come to you. There's nothing you have to do. All that efforting has not worked for you. And then you burn out and you want to escape. Write this stuff down. Also remember that every thought you think, every desire you have, every preference you have is sending out an ask to the universe. You know, God wants to give you, I read this somewhere in the Bible, that God wants to give you, like a parent wants to give their child everything good, all good things. The old adage that is, what you think about comes about, and it is true. I live over here in Hollywood, and being the empath that I am, when I walk to the market and I see somebody who's totally wasted lying on the sidewalk with nothing, it breaks my heart in half when I think you could have it all. You have to sit up and get off of that sidewalk. Sit up and ask. Ask your God to save you, to heal you, and everything you'll need will come to you. Believe it. Have an unwavering faith that you will receive what you ask for. The power of belief. It's like you have to believe you're already clean. The cravings are over. The power of the belief has been proven. The more you believe, the more you get, and the more you will manifest. Oh my God. Believe. Remember the placebo effect, which has been proven. All this stuff is based on science, folks, to cause the resolution of symptoms and real physiological change. It is up to 80% of the patients in clinical trials who are treated with nothing more than sugar pills, saline injections, or fake surgeries. And guess what? They heal. When you know you're on the way to the doctor and the doctor's going to give you all your good advice and maybe a medication, you already feel better coming home from your doctor because you're healed. You're already healed. When people come to me as a hypnotherapist to stop smoking, they've already stopped. When they walk in the door, I just put them down, relax them, and remind them in their subconscious mind, you're a non-smoker now. You're a non-smoker. You love getting up and having a clear mind and clear eyes and good smelling hair. Now Dan, this example of Dan, he had practiced the law of attraction, ask, believe, and receive. But until the 30-day solution, he had not known how to apply it to sobriety. Over the course of the program, Dan felt like he actually discovered the real secret, the secret to sobriety. Today, Dan has over 3 years clean, something he has always hoped for, but he never could do it before. Better yet, he's actually happy. He saved his marriage, is the father and always dreamed of being, and he is flourishing in his career. Dan recently shared, I continue to use the solution I learned in 30-day solution to sobriety to improve my connection to the person I want to be, the person I know I am. I'm the creator. I move closer to that person every day. And for Dan, he was attending AA meetings, and you can attend NA meetings or any meeting you want. It's a valuable ongoing support for his sobriety. When he sees new people attending the meeting right after they hit rock bottom, their puffy faces, dejected attitude, and overwhelming feelings of fear and desperation, he continually is reminded that Dan, the pain of drinking, that it caused him in the past. He enjoys being able to offer hope and inspiration to others, and that lasting change is possible. And the daydreamer's dilemma. Financial success, or any other kind of success, does not require hard work or action, but it does require an alignment of thought. You simply cannot offer negative thought about things that you desire and then make it up for it with action or hard work. That's why when you work and you sweat at the brow and you try everything that never works for you, it's because that's not how you manifest. Do you like to daydream? We do. It can be a fun escape. Maybe you put on some great music and let your imagination run wild. Sometimes the daydreams are just fun and really aren't important to you. But other times, these daydreams are about goals you believe and hold the key to your ultimate happiness and fulfillment. And guess what? You are right. Take a deep breath, everybody. This is some heavy stuff, but it's so mind-blowingly important how to use your mind. Have you ever paid close attention to what happens after you seriously start thinking about achieving those goals? Actually, some form of doubt sets in, which we call the daydreamer's dilemma. For example, have you noticed that when you dream about being sober, how proud everyone will be and all the great changes you will make in your personal and professional life? Almost immediately, the what ifs start to kick in. What if I tell everyone and then I fail again? What if I decide I don't want to change? What if I am not happy when I am sober? What if this is meant to be my life? What if I simply just can't do it? Do you do this in other areas of your life too? You start thinking about a dream or a goal, but then as you're watching it and thinking, it immediately shifts to how disappointed you or others will be when you fail. Unfortunately, this is all too common phenomenon. Most people are great at wanting more, but lousy at believing they can have it or receive it. They are more accustomed to and comfortable with not getting what they want. And by want, we don't mean getting the newest iPhone. We're talking about life-changing wants. What you want more than anything is to be sober, to have the love of your life looking at you. You want that new job, that dream job. You want total financial freedom and absolutely loving nature and your new sober life. However, getting what you really want often makes you uncomfortable because you're not used to it. You've been beaten down for so long with the addiction, with the weakness, with the brokenness, with the limited beliefs. You have gotten used to following up your big wants with the expectation that you will not get them again. Because the law of attraction, this negative expectation, virtually guarantees it to come to you. Do you understand, people? It's in your thinking. Your thinking is what controls your life. In this book, Money and the Law of Attraction, Learning to Attract Wealth, Health, and Happiness, Esther and Jerry Hicks talk about this in relation to money. Most of us are much closer to a financial fortune than you are even allowing yourself to purely desire, because in the thought that it might come, right away you begin thinking of how disappointed you will be when it doesn't come. And so in your lackful thinking, you allow yourself to desire or to expect anything magnificent in the terms of money. That's right. Remember what I said? The universe doesn't give you what you ask for. It gives you what you vibe at. Because if you don't really feel like you deserve it, you're not going to get it. And you're worried that everybody doesn't accept you. But have you accepted yourself? Yourself is the one that gives it to yourself. It's right there. The universe wants to give it to you. But when you say, I can't, I failed, I won't, I refuse to, guess what happens? You get what you believe. And that's the reason why, for the most part, you're living rather a mediocre financial experience. Hello, this is Everybody's Dilemma. Your first step for today is to pay attention to what thoughts and feelings come up the next time you're thinking or daydreaming about what you want. If you catch yourself doubting your success, expecting failure, or thinking about why you can't accomplish your goal, acknowledge the thoughts and then go through the steps of the ask, believe, receive process of your goal. Input equals output. This is by Brian Tracy. He's another thought-provoking motivator. Psychologists have known that more television you watch, the lower your level of energy and self-esteem. At an unconscious level, you don't like or respect yourself as much if you were there hour after hour watching television. People who watch too much television also gain weight and become physically lethargic and unfit from sitting around too much. That's right. And then they go under Dave's wife is a child therapist who knows that in order to have a lasting positive impact on younger children, she has to work with the parents. The most basic concept she teaches parents is that input equals output. Garbage in, garbage out. In other words, don't expose your children to violent books, TV, games. Don't let them watch the news that reports murder, suicide, rape, deadly diseases, fires, and incidents. That's on the evening news. Some parents are surprised at how quickly the children behave. Your changes for the better when they eliminate such exposure, such influence. The news is not the news. It is the bad news. It is deliberately like that to put you into shock, to have you watch the channel. Most of us are more particular about what we put in the automobile gas than what we put into our brains every night. We passively feed ourselves stories about serial killers and violent crimes without making any conscious awareness of the choice we're making. However, the good news is we can change this. There are 5 key recommendations to this with your second action step for today. First, stop watching the news all the time. At least the typical news programs that focus primarily on the negativity. Second, take a hard look at the TV shows and movies you're watching. Third, pay attention to your feelings. Ask, does this TV show promote a good feeling in life, of value? If not, stop it. Fourth, pay attention to any inputs that have a negative impact on you. Not just broadcast media, but people, websites, social media. Control your thoughts, control your scrolling, control your time on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Lastly, revisit the forgiveness solution, because you attract energy that matches the vibration of your feelings. Being negative and angry and unforgiving ensures that you'll attract more people that stimulate this negative, angry, and forgiving feeling. There's a lot of this in politics. If you feel that you haven't been able to fully embrace forgiveness for others and for yourself, we encourage you to take yourself through the total truth process again. One of the favorite questions to ask that I learned in the 30-day solution, am I moving closer or further away from my next drink or drug? It's a simple way for me to have the awareness about my current state of mind and make adjustments to my life. Now, yesterday we talked about attending AA meetings, and some shared advice on how to deal with "I'm an alcoholic" affirmation. Today we share Dan's story and the ongoing support AA has given him, because AA can be a great resource because you find meetings almost anywhere, okay? And it's called the AA meetings, the Drunkalog. When people in recovery share their life stories, a lot of it focuses on the drinking or escapades of a drunkalog. At an AA speaker meeting with an experienced speaker, it can be effective in connecting you with the pain associated with drinking, as you recall the day 3 in the pendulum solution. But in meetings where one person after another stands up in their drunken experiences, the law of attraction means you get more of what you focus on. When you spend time sharing and listening to one drinking story after another, you're constantly focused on drinking. Our recommendation comes down to one of our common themes: awareness. Stay aware of how you feel after attending a meeting. Do you feel depressed and agitated, or uplifted and inspired? When Dave attended AA, they were dominated by a drunk-a-log. He usually felt worse. However, after Dave attended meetings where someone new to AA would share painful stories or alcohol abuse, he would relive his own pain all over again, feel grateful for his own sobriety, and leave with a renewed sense of purpose. So if you decide to attend AA, which we don't believe you need to do unless you feel it makes you feel hopeful or it's helpful, pay close attention to how you feel after attending an AA meeting. Am I moving more towards being further from drinking? Also, pay attention to who attends the meeting. AA meetings differ dramatically, so you may have to go to different ones to find. It's like dating. You got to find one you connect with. I choose to attend AA meetings and shop around until you find a meeting that is right for you, right? Okay, and then you get to have a new story, a brand new story. I had a thinking problem, not a drinking problem. That was from Greg Ferguson, the talk show host. It's important to create a new story for yourself and to leave the old story behind. Picture yourself walking to a bright, new, colorful life, one that has everything that you want. Instead of repeating the same old story, walk away from it in black and white. The blaming, the complaining, the rationalizing, the justifying. Maybe you blame your parents for drinking or using drugs. or a lousy economy, or are the manager at work. Maybe you rationalize that you deserve to use on the weekends because of how hard you work, or you justify your condition by thinking that everyone has health issues, so your using is no big deal. And you keep telling the same story and you keep getting the same results, which leads to your third action step. It's time to tell a new story in beautiful multicolor. Leave the past behind. Picture it just behind you in black and white. It's like dead flowers on the ground. It's the past. This is the story of the new you, the vibrant, the radiant, the passionate, the sober you who is no longer held captive by the desire to use these old habits. The new you has transformed emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Esker and Jerry Hicks say, you have to begin to tell the story as your life as you want it to be. That's right, the finished results. Not what you're feeling now. This is just the past. Everything you're looking at is the past coming up, and it takes time to change it by new thoughts. And you discontinue the tales of how it's been or how it is. You want to spend more time focusing and thinking about and talking about how your new life to be is now, and less time thinking about talking about how your old life was and the current life is, and your life radically changes for the better. Here are some important guidelines to follow as you write your new story. As you write it, don't worry about crafting the perfect story, which with perfect grammar. You're not writing a paper to be graded. Write this and journal this, that the value is the clarity you get from the process of writing it out. Start 1 year in the future. Write your new story about in 1 year how things will be. For example, start by writing today and put the date in, and I am. Remember the I am statements? And then describe what your experience is as if you're writing a letter to someone about your current experience and the journey that got you there. Pretend a year out what you'll be doing. Okay? And from 1 year to the future frame mind, reflect back. Briefly share some detail of your life before you started the 30-day solution, capturing whatever feels important to you as if you're looking back from the time of the year to the future, and then forward, working through the program and beyond, up from 1 year to the future, for example. After the sentence above, you might continue by writing, when I purchased the 30-day solution, or just listen to Dr. Cindy online, I was struggling. My using had reached a point where it was affecting my health and relationships. I no longer felt like using was a realistic option, and I knew there had to be more to life. And then your story might continue with your experience with the program to date, your challenges, your successes. And most of all, write about what you want. Write about what you want your future life to look at. Do it in detail. Get your colored pencils out, your beautiful magic markers, your watercolor paints. It doesn't matter what your drinking looked like. Do you abstain completely, or are you able to take it or leave it approach? Having a drink or using once or twice, but never feeling like you need to be happy to be relaxed. And then moved into a really interesting part of the story, all the personal and professional changes you have experienced. Some resources you can use for the new you that you wrote on day 2, your core values on day 10, and the new beliefs you wrote on day 11, and any of the solutions that you have done so far that have come to you, the clarity on the thriving, on the health. Consider including the following areas of your story. How does your health look a year from now? How does your job look a year from now? Your career. What are you having fun doing? Your recreation. How are you growing personally and spiritually? What is happening with your family and friends, your new love life, your new friends? What does your physical environment look like? Okay? And although we encourage you to dream as big as you want, remember, this is just 1 year from today. So go for what you want, but keep it believable. For example, it might not be likely for you to more than double your existing income or move into a house 4 times worth your existing home's value in a year, but it's very possible to fall madly in love, to get in the best shape of your life, to find a new job, to start a new business, to pay off your debts to your family, make new friends, start and excel a new hobby, and find a rewarding way to give back to your community. So on day 19, your action steps. Use the ask, believe, and receive process that we've been working with. Now you have clarity about what you want. Practice it. Believe when you ask and receive it. Appreciate it. Thank the universe for it. Change your input. Stop watching the nightly news so much. Write your new story. Write your new story of what you really want in the present tense as if it's a year from today. Get clear about how it's going to look, how you're going to look, what's going on with your health, your career, your fun, your recreation, your goals, your family, your friend, your romance, your travel, your physical environment, your contribution to giving back. Keep this where you can read it at least once a week and update it or write it in your phone to yourself. On the companion website, we discuss the 2 faces of envy and how you can really use it to your advantage. We also share an example of a completed new story to help guide you in writing yours. Visit the companion website at http://day19.solutions. People, I am so proud of you. This is a wonderful course today. I feel like we're at a seminar. These are what you're going to get at these seminars that you go to, this day 19, these seminars that people go to and they spend $1,000 for a week of it, and you're doing this in the privacy of your home or driving your car and taking your sessions every day. And I am so proud of you. Make sure you write in your journals and keep your subconscious mind clear at night. Dream these beautiful dreams. I love you. I see you as so healed and so beautiful and so clean. And I will see you in your dreams.